Okay, so this is a reconciliation sugar jar. You can do this with honey or syrup or any other sweetener, whatever you've got at hand. I like to use sugar, but I do from time to time change it to honey, to syrup. It's all the same thing, in my opinion. Okay, so we have two people. The client is a female. Just looking at a few cards with regards to the issue itself. I have a feeling there may be a third party in this equation. I don't know if it's another woman that's trying to break them up, but I feel there's an influence coming from somewhere else. So I've got the cross. That's all about discord, etc. The dog, friendship. So everything. Uh, Everything came to. Did it happen quite quickly? I'm thinking. There I have the snake. So yeah, that would point me in the direction of another person that I feel is an influence. If you know what I mean, an influence, a negative influence around him. So there's a lily as well. So I'm thinking a bit of an age gap. That can also mean. I'm not sure if your dates of birth. Just actually, let me check. I don't want these pictures shown. Just out of curiosity. A few years. A few years, yeah. Yeah, the cards usually pick up on things like that, for no apparent reason. Just cards pick up on things. So, yeah, there's potential that the two of you can indeed reunite. I've got the key. That's all about solutions. We found a solution, and I've got the heart. That's about love, happiness, all that. The book, excuse me, the book and the sun. So the book is getting things out, something that is being held back that needs to come forward so that everything can return to not to the way it was, to a better situation. So the book and the sun, happiness and all that. So yes, we can, it's doable. It is doable. I have a feeling there's something. Come back to me with some information on who you think that might be. I just feel as if there's like a third party, someone like maybe saying things to him, or I just get that feeling, but I'd like you to confirm that for me. So I have some bits and pieces on the petition and the photographs, are face to face, but I'm going to put some of this attraction spray. When it wants to work, it will work. I have the spare. Use the spare bottle. Okay. Let me see. What have we got? Increase attraction. I'm going to put that on her picture. We don't want to put it on his picture because we don't want anyone else coming into the picture and taking him in another direction. So the attraction is for her. Communication oil I'm looking for, because for her I'm going to put this. This is the Ease a Broken Heart oil. Just to make the process a little easier. I'm not sure, that really works, but it's worth a try. Reconciliation. This is for both of them. At the end of the day, these oils, you can just use whatever you've got. I have called for the Amon from the Goetia. I will look at that in a moment. 1 second. Oh, what am I doing here? Looking for some. These oils are all mixed up. Yeah, it's a love oil again for both of them. communication oil. Again, on both pictures. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of sugar in between the photographs. Sorry for the noise. If you're using oh, come on, brain work. If you're using honey, you can put honey in there, syrup, whatever. It's just when I try to focus on something, it's hard for me to verbalize a sentence. Pull it all together, push it forward, bring it in. Okay. Then again, pull it towards you again into a little packet. Enough that could fit into a jar like that. Or a bigger one, whatever you've got at hand. Let me see. Okay. Sorry for the noise. I'm just going to wrap a little red ribbon around this. Actually, I'll go that way. It's a bit short, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to tie that in 3 knots. And you can make little statements of intent with each knot. So I'll just say a few things into myself. Okay, so I've got something like that. And I'm popping it in a little jar. So I put on the petition that he will return to her. He will start thinking about her. He will basically dream of her. Everything that has happened in the past will, it will find peace and they will move on. They'll find a new, relationship that's a step above before, because we don't want people going back into old patterns. We want people to go forward into new relationships, into new, new love, if you know what I mean, but with the same person, and a better love, obviously. Because if you go back into the same, it's just going to be the same stuff all over again. You're going to just basically return to the same old patterns of thought, the same old this, that, and the other, and things won't work. So you have to petition for, a set of new eyes for both you and him. And, visualize. Once again, I will go over the visualization if possible. Visualization is a good tool to have. If you take a couple of minutes every night, just seeing in your mind's eye what you want, see it down into the fine details. Just take a few minutes. It's not a big thing. You don't even have to use candles. Just sit there and focus on the goal. Two of you together, happy, long-term relationship. Walking hand in hand and feel his hand in your hand and things like that. You just really, really want to use, the senses. Feel it in your stomach, the butterflies, the happiness, that feeling you get when you're just blissfully happy. Do that, and he will start to pick up on that, believe it or not. And this works. It's a bit like the law of attraction. This really does work, in my opinion. So I'm going to pop some sugar in that, and then I will explain about Amon, the Galisha spirit Amon. Actually, I'll finish the jar first. You can use brown sugar also. I'm sure you, in common sense. Cinnamon and ginger, that is good for lust. Getting things moving in that respect. A little bit of Damayana as well. Again, really good for lust. I need some church. You really need to collect this. I live so close to a church, and I really need to do this without getting spotted, thinking I'm a weirdo. They think that already. Okay, so we're going to put some wall of fire powder, so that's going to add a little bit of protection to the relationship. Okay. And for speed, of course, precipitation powder, the red one, if you have it. If you don't, coffee will work as a stimulant, which will kickstart the spell, hopefully. That stains so bad, that stuff. Okay. I'm going to pop a tiny amount of oil in here because even though I don't like to use a lot of oil in sugar jars, that is attraction for each other. Okay, this is mend the relationship. Basically, I have a lot of oils here. You use whatever you've got. This is reconciliation. You don't have to go with what I have. Go with what you have. I use these because obviously I have them and I want to give the best chance for things to work out. But at the end of the day, use what you've got. Okay, bit of orris root. And a tiny bit of rose oil. You could use rose petals, which I'm going to do as well. Just a tiny amount. Oh, sorry. Oh, black candles. What did I do that for? Yeah, orris root is in there. Let me see. Some rose petals. And again, I like to use roses that have been sitting on the Holy Jeff's altar. I just feel as if they contain energy, they contain her essence. That is why I use her, rosebuds, because I buy her flowers from time to time. Okay. Yes, I think we're done. I'm going to blow into this. Shake it up once. That was a few times, actually. And then I'm going to fire it up. And I'm going to make Amon's name known. I'm going to set that aside. One moment. So I'll be working on that. I'm not sure for how long, in all honesty, but deploy something like that. If it's someone that you're with, you can keep that going. You don't actually have to deploy it. If you're with someone, and be careful that they don't see it, or most people don't really know what something like that would be. You could pass it off as potpourri or something. Stupid joke. But anyway, no. If possible, you could maybe put it at the back of your drawer when you're. No, that's not a good idea. I don't like those love jars being in darkness. But if you could just put it back, say at the back of your perfumes, or if you're a man, your aftershaves or whatever. Then light the candle when the person's out. You could do that, but at the end of the day, I think you can keep these going, just to keep everything flowing along nicely. That's possible. Or if it doesn't suit you, just work a jar for, let me see, I would give it 21 days, in all honesty. And at the end of the 21 days, you could bury it at the base of a tree. You could put it into the sea, somewhere like that. It's awkward putting things in the sea and stuff, because at the end of the day, there's powders and stuff, but Potted plant is another thing. If you can get a jar small enough, put it. I've done that many times. I have trees, potted trees around my home, and I put my own personal spells into the potted trees. That's an option. If you're working with even the crossroads, things like that. But yeah, don't leave it in any murky waters or anything like that. You want to keep it, all just good and stuff. Murky waters, to my opinion, like dark, murky streams and stuff. I've had someone come to me about a love jar that they deployed in a murky stream, and I can understand why they did that. Because it's going to just, it's just the wrong place to deploy a spell. But yeah, I mean, I like the tree. The tree is my number one place for spell work. That's the kind of thing. But love jars, never dispose of them in the bin or anything like that. Never put them places that, because you're basically putting your love spell to the trash. So don't do that. Anyway, moving on. I start to talk too much again. Amon. Okay, Amon. Amon is a marquis, should I say. His color is violet, incense is jasmine, metal is silver, and the planet is the moon. Element is water, and the N is Aved Sekor Amon Ninan. And original purpose: predicts the future, knows the past. He can be invoked to cause or reconcile feuds between friends. He also works really well for love. So that is the reason why he's very, very good at reconciling couples that have broken up. He's excellent at mending, these tiffs and breakups, and he's really good that way. And then the author, by the way, that's S. Conley again, Demonology Goetia. Everyone asks about this book, so. Some say Amon as a fire, a demon to be worshipped at the summer solstice. Amon can help bring emotions to a head so that they can be released as usable energy. Amon can help with finding friends. That's one, that's just some of the attributes for Amon. So if you get yourself a sale, print it off, go over it in pen or do it freehand. I vary between both. And then when I'm freehanding it over the lines, that is when I slip down into like a meditative state, and that's when I make the petition. So we're asking Amon to help the client reconcile with this person, and when it all comes together, we will thank Amon publicly, but I have an offering for him. And always to make the name known. These spirits, I feel, really like to get their name out there, and I think it's a good thing. So that was just a little reconciliation jar like that, and I will set that on the seal, and we'll burn a little light on that for, like I said, 21 days. And you can sit with the jar, and you can, make statements of intent. I like to keep the statements of intent in the present tense. I would say, let's say, John and Jane Doe are now together again. They are reconciled. Their love is unique. They are spiritually, emotionally, and physically at one with each other. All past hurts are gone now. That's the kind of thing I say. And I would say that their love is unbreakable. They only have eyes for each other, that sort of thing. So, but, put your own stroke on it. You don't have to do what I do. Put your own stroke on it. Do a cleansing, even though it's a love work. Still do a cleansing afterwards. You can use Florida water, salt in your bath or shower. Excuse me. Let me see. Hyssop. Alum. No, not alum. I use alum and what you call that other thing? Camphor. Is it camphor? I would use that sometimes together. You can even, use visualization techniques, see your whole body bathed in white kind of thing. As you shower, see all the the gunk coming off you and going down the plug hole. Loads of ways of cleansing yourself, but I do recommend cleansing after any spell work, in all honesty, because we're bending someone's will at the end of the day. So, you know. Let me see what else you could use. Let me see. That's all I can really think of off the top of my head. Sage, of course. You could get a sage stick and just sage yourself, kind of thing. But for any work, I would do a cleansing just to make sure. But Amon, in my opinion, is a really good spirit to work with. I don't. There's no, in my opinion anyway, there's no danger. But for people that are starting out, I'm not sure about the Goetia. You would really need to study it a little bit and see, and obviously you need to, if you're calling on spirits, you need to have a valid reason for that, or you will, in my opinion, you will feel their wrath. You really need a valid reason, not just call a spirit up for the sake of it. I think, just to see if they'll answer. It doesn't work that way in my opinion. I think you will get a bit of a bitch slap if you do that. It's important to have a reason. There's 72 spirits there in the Goetia, so I mean, there's something there for every human need. So I'm waffling. housemagic@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, and you will find me in the comments section. I will answer your questions as soon as possible. Have a good evening.